to what's going on in the Sprinter. So this is my 3-month review of me having my own authority. I was home this weekend because I had my niece baby shower to go to. So by the time I inserted all the numbers inside the computer system, all the numbers in for last month, the month of July, I was a little bit down. Because at first I thought I did a little bit more than what I did, but I couldn't put a load into it. I had to actually take that load out. So it dropped my gross because I took the load out, because technically that load was not going to be paying in the month of July. So I only do loads that pay within that month. Okay? So I don't count, even though if I'm on that load, like I booked this load, but by the time I booked this load, it was for $29, and I booked it on the 31st. It was paying $2,900, right? So that load was in the calculations, but because it did not get paid out until Monday, I had to take that $2,900 out. So by the time I took that money out, and the actual money that I earned, the income for that month, it only was $26,250 that I made for the month of July. I mean, y'all can do y'all calculations if you want to. Divide that by 4. I think that's an average of about 6,300, maybe a little bit over 6,300 a week that I made. So I'm down for my average of 6,500 a week. Now, I did have a lot of time out because of the 4th of July, right? So I didn't make that. Then I came back home, and actually I was home every weekend in the month of July. I was home. You know, my daughter started school next week. I even was home this past weekend, right? And I'm probably going home this weekend too. I can spend time with her before she starts school, and I really get on the grind and, you know, stay out there on the road. But to average 6,300 going home every weekend, it's still pretty good. I'm not mad at that. I really am not mad at that. So, which is good. The business made money. The maintenance account is continuing to build. And I made money because I'm on salary. So all the extra money goes into my business. And, you know, that's what my business is profiting. Which is good, because I take the profits from my business, you know, to fix the truck, to maintain my truck, to do stuff on the truck. I'm not using my maintenance account because I'm trying to build it up. You know, because I saw one dude, he just had this authority now for, I think he had it for 6 months now. And he had this authority for almost 6 months. And his radiator blew on him. So he had to get towed, and then he had to get towed to the shop to replace his radiator. And just to replace your radiator is like $3,200. So, you know, stuff happens out here on the road. It really does happen out here on the road. So I need to make sure I have enough money so if something happens, I have the money to fix it and, you know, keep it moving. So the first 3 months was good. Now I still this week have to go ahead and sign on with a couple more brokers that take you after you done did 3 months. So I still got that to do this week. I'm going to be working on that this week right here to sign up for these brokers. Things like that, and contact some more and see what their waiting period is. But I'm only contacting brokers that have a lot of loads in the areas that I run. It don't make no sense to be signing up with brokers that don't have that many loads in the area that I'm running. Now, unless I see something that day, and then they will take me, so then I can sign up for the load for that one particular day. But I'm trying to get, you know, brokers that have plenty of loads in the areas that I run. Now, it may not be a load going to where I want it to go, but they have a lot of loads in the area to get me out of the area. No, I'm not a company driver. I am a company driver because I drive for my own company, but I don't work for another company that's a separate carrier where you know, you only get paid on Fridays, or you get paid on Tuesdays or something like that. You know, I get paid after every load. I can take a 34-hour reset anywhere. You know, it does not matter. So I get paid after every single load that I do. You know, which is helpful. It is. Because if I just need something, I can take a little quick day load and give me some money real quick if I need some money real quick, you know. But I try to make $1,000 a day. That's what I try to do. So I get on Friday, I like to be at $4,000 by Friday by the time I drop that load. You know, do I make it all the time? No, I don't. I don't make it all the time, especially coming out of Florida. Coming out of Florida for about $600 to $700 coming out of Florida. You know, it is what it is. I stay in Florida, so I got to put those rates into my calculations on how I run my business. I don't stay in the state where you can come home from the 34-hour reset. You can get a load, you give me $1,300, you know, $1,400. I don't stay inside that particular state. My state, $600, $700. You get a 2-day run, you can probably get that 2-day run, depending on where it's going, $1,400, $1,500. But that puts you at $700 a day or $750 a day, which I have done a couple times. Then that next load I get for like $1,300, right? So then I'm only down $300. So now that third load getting on Friday, I try to get another load for like another $1,300. So if I do that, then I'm at the $4,000 that I need for the week. If I don't do that, then I'm down to 37, right? It is what it is, kind of thing. You know, you have to be around there, so I don't make it all the time. Sometimes I do. When I stay out, I make it all the time. When I stay out, I'm going like 7K. When I stay out, I'm 6,900, 6,800 when I stay out. But going home, you know, I try to be at like $6,000, but I'm fine if it's just $5,000 too. Especially if I'm going home for family stuff. You know, it always can't be about the money. As long as I'm making enough money to pay all the bills, to pay myself and my business making money, you know, I'm doing good. That's how I look at it. I mean, out of a $5,000 work week, I still get paid my $1,800, and the business still made their money. You know, so I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at that at all. The business still makes about $500, $600 if I just do $5,000, and that's for paying all the bills. My business makes about $500 off of a $5,000 work week, and I got paid my $1,800 on top of that. So I'm good as long as my business is profitable. Remember, my cents per mile, it covers everything. It covers even my next year expenses. It covers. So I'm taking out money from all my next year expenses, all my licenses renewals, all my permit renewals. I'm taking out money just for that. You know, so that's how you got to look at it. By the time I take out all that money for that, my business still makes money. So that's one thing that I look at, and one thing that I look for. To make sure I'm profitable. I can be profitable at 5,000. Not as profitable if I was at 6. Not as profitable if I was at 65, 66. Of course not. But $5,000 work week, I'm okay to do that every once in a while, especially if it has anything to do with family. You know, I'm looking at the family part of it. Money is not everything. As long as there's enough money to pay all the bills and the business can make money. I can take a week to do that, to do stuff with my daughter. Like, she really want to go to the beach, so I got to be home on another weekend this month, probably Labor Day weekend, and we'll go out there to the beach Labor Day weekend. So I know that week I'm not going to be at no 65, 66, 6,700 that week. Then my bishop said that he want all the elders, which I'm an elder, inside the church on Sunday. So this weekend, even though I've been home every single weekend in July, and this is the first weekend that I've been home of August, he said he want all the elders there this Sunday. So on Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to be inside Ohio on Thursday. I'm going to Twinsboro, something like that. I think it's Twinsboro, Ohio. Then I'm dropping off a load too on Thursday. So on Thursday, I'm going to be looking for a load for Friday. First, I'm looking for a Thursday load. I'm going to take me somewhere on Friday. And then whatever's taking me, I'm looking for a load on that Friday to bring me back to Florida so I can be inside the church on Sunday. I have duties that I have to do as an elder as well. So of course I'm gonna put God first. He's the one that keeps blessing me. He's the one that keeps guiding me. He's the one that's showing me unmerited favor. He's the one that's opening up doors for me. He's the one that keeps me safe out here on this road. So I'm gonna give him his time. So my bishop was like, hey, he need all his elders there on Sunday. I'm gonna make sure that I'm there on Sunday. You know, that's my duty. That's the least thing I can do for God. Knowing that He's taking care of me. And He's supplying all my needs according to His riches and glory. So, but that's my 3-month review so far. You know, plan for this month. I got 2 more months before my contract starts for my 7-month contract that I got. So I got 2 more months. So the plan for this month is to run as much as possible. And then the plan for September, going into September after Labor Day, I'm going to stay out that whole particular month because I need to build up a lot of money because I want to buy myself a trailer. I'm trying to pay cash for the trailer. So I'm going to buy myself a trailer because that's going to help me with this contract account. It's going to make it so that way I just can do a drop and hook. And, you know, that would save almost an hour and a half, 2 hour time if I can just do drop and hooks. And I can pick it up at any time, so I'm not going to be, you know, held to the time that they open, which is between 8 and 4 o'clock is their loading times. And then it's even earlier on Fridays, they loading time, they stop at 1 o'clock on Friday. So if I have a trailer, I just can pick up the drop trailer and it's ready to go. I don't have to worry about the loading time. So I'm trying to get myself another trailer by October. So that was the focus going to be in September, is to get myself a trailer, find a trailer, and get myself a trailer. Then I got to register that trailer. That's even more money coming out of that. So, you know, that's my focus. Between this month, I got 2 months to get myself another trailer. So that's what going to be my goal, is get myself another trailer and finish paying off this truck. I want to go inside this season, my contract season, with a paid off truck and a paid off trailer. You know, this trailer I rent, so I'll be renting this until May. May 14th is my last day with this trailer, but my contract ends April the 30th. So I would have this trailer as my second trailer all the way through the season. And then I can easily, after the season is over with, I just can return this trailer. I don't have to wait until the 14th, you know, to return the trailer. Once the season is over with, I just return this trailer, and now I have my own trailer, paid off trailer. Even though I pay $500 a month for this trailer, there's still $500 that I have, my business will have inside the business account. It's the $500. And then the maintenance on this, because it's an older trailer, you know, I got to keep up with the maintenance on this trailer. I really do, and I really don't know. I should look at the date of the tires, because I didn't replace 2 tires on this trailer, and I have to replace 2 more tires. But that was because of my slack adjusters. That was the wrong slack adjusters, and it caused an alignment issue that ate up the tires. So they just wearing unevenly because the alignment was torn on it. It's just all messed all up. So I had got an alignment done, but the tires are still wearing. They're still wearing unevenly. So I got to replace those tires right there. You know, I just don't want to get a deal with the inspection and they're like, hey, because it's a certain percentage of your tire. If it's warm, then it could be a violation. So, you know, I want to make sure that I get 2 tires put on So if I get a DOT inspection, they look at them, everything look good. You know, like I said, the truck already had new brakes. It had new slack adjusters. It just was the wrong slack adjusters. It caused that alignment to go off when you brake in. It was a mess when I first got this trailer. I didn't put about $2,800 total into this trailer so far since I picked it up May 14th. And then that could have been money in my pocket if the trailer was good. Like, you looking at everything is new. All down there, the brakes, all that kind of stuff is new. Everything was new. Holding air, the whole 9 yards. So when you're looking at a whole bunch of new parts, you're not thinking that the parts that they put on was the wrong parts that cost a whole lot of trouble. Yeah, it cost a whole lot of trouble. But I'd rather it would have been my own trailer that I put the $2,800 into, not somebody else's trailer that you put $2,800 into and stuff. But again, this trailer is also old too. So with old stuff, you got to put in a lot of money. So I'm trying to get a newer trailer, like a 18, 19, or 20 trailer that I'm looking to get. You know, because I've been seeing those trailers, and I can seeing those trailers, they sell it for about $8,000 to $12,000, depending on the year. It's all right, man. Y'all be blessed out there. Blessed to you. Much favor. I pray that God give you favor. Give you comfort, give you wisdom, give you clarity on your situation. So that way you can hear him clearly and you know what to do and what not to do, what you should do and what you should not do. You know, who to listen to and who not to listen to. That's another good one too. I'm listening to some of these people, then I can see why some of the people who got the new authorities, this is going to be a whole other conversation. But a lot of people who go out and get their new authority, I see why they give up their first year. It's like they have a plan, but they playing what a good plan, and now they're not making money based off of the plan that they made and the running areas that they made. They said that they want to run in and what they want to do, so they're ready to give up because they can't find the loads, so they're not making the money in the area that they want to run. But that's why I said, did you do any market analysis before you started anything? To see if you get this particular step deck, are you going to be able to get loads with a step deck in this area that you want to run? Maybe look at what loads are coming out for step decks. And then you see if the people who I can start off my authority with, do they got step deck loads in this particular area too? You just can't be like the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. This vehicle keeps slowing down. So the more I slow down, the more this vehicle in front of me slows down. The speed limit is 55, I'm doing 54. See? And he's just slowing down even more. So I slow down more, down to 52. See if this vehicle won't slow down. I don't know why they doing stuff like that. They just be doing stuff like that. But yeah, so some of the people with the new authority, and I'm just like, listen, before you give up, do a market analysis. This is your equipment you got. You got a step deck. What places right now is booming for step decks? Oh, Texas right now is booming for step decks? The South? Well, guess what I'm finna do? I'm finna take my butt down there to Texas, and I'm finna be running that Texas market. Why? Because they booming right now. You got a truck, it moves, it drives. You got a business, make your business plan. Run down there 2 weeks, and then get a load to work yourself back up. If you stay out west in California, Nevada, or somewhere like that, work your way back up. Find a load to go back up there. Spend time at your house. Right? And then you go back to the area and you work your area. Right now I'm doing Texas, going up to Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, and coming right back down to Texas or Oklahoma or somewhere like that. Or I do a one-day load from Texas to Oklahoma, back to Texas, back to Oklahoma. I stay running. Why? Because I can get $1,100 to $1,200 for like 479, 550 miles. Just running back and forth. I'm not finna do no Florida, Georgia. Every time I come out of Florida, it's like $600. Now going into from Georgia to Florida, I get like $1,800. So I'm getting a nice chunk for a day run, you know. But trying to find loads coming out of Florida that's gonna be paying that's hard to find as well. TQL told me, listen, they paying no more than $1 a mile on short runs. So if it's 359 miles, they paying $359 for that run. I said, yeah. So y'all not going over $1? I said, no, we're not going over $1. So you want to book it? I said, no, that's okay. There's other loads out there that's paying like $1.36, $1.56. So I'm going past this load by. But I appreciate you. You know, because I done a couple of loads for them, but they wasn't short runs. You know, there was runs going up to like Kentucky and Virginia, and it was paying like $1.64, $1.70 a mile, $1.56 a mile. So I did a couple of loads like that for them. And then I told TQL that. So then, about 2 hours later, they gave me a call. Yeah, I see you had you was interested in this load for Tampa going to Atlanta. It was Madonna, Georgia. You know, it's up by south of Atlanta. I was like, yeah, but y'all told me that y'all don't pay more than $1 a mile for short runs. So he said, we could do that load for $500 if you want to do it for $500. I said, nah, just book me another load to get me up out of Florida. But I appreciate it. I said, thank you for calling me back, even though you know I was interested in it. He said, well, you don't have another truck in the area? I'm like, no, because even if I had another truck in the area, I would have booked another load that's paying more than $1 a mile coming out of Florida. Well, the fuel is $4.10 a gallon. It's different if you get it now. If the fuel was like $3, $3.10, $3.15, you probably can make that work. You know, I mean, I get 7.6 miles to a gallon. I was getting 7.8 miles to the gallon coming from Kansas, coming back to down to Florida, to Pompano Beach, Florida. I had averaged 7.8 miles a gallon. Now I'm doing 65, and the weight was just 26,000 pounds too. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I was going slower, and I only had about 28,000 pounds in the box. You know, so keep that in mind. So I made a lot of money off that 2,900 coming back because I only spent $762 in fuel for that trip. That's it. That trip cost me $762 and some change. So round it up to $763. I always like to round up $1. So $763 I spent in fuel, and the load paid me $2,900. So with my factoring company today, I got paid off of that load right there. I got paid a little bit over $2,100 off that load. Which is good because I don't have no bills this week. So I got my $1,800 off of that. The other $300 went inside my checking account for the business, and now I got my salary for the week. So I'm already paid for the week as well. And the other money is going inside my business checking account. So now that's how I do it. So now I start running again. You know, I start running again. All the money I'm finna pick up a load now, paying me $600, and this delivers tomorrow morning. when I send this load in and get paid for this load, I'm gonna pay my fuel card with this. My fuel card bill is due on Friday, so I pay it on Fridays. So the only money that I had after Friday was this load that was $763. So by the time I get the 3% and everything like that out, it's gonna be about $500 I'm gonna get off this load. So all 500 is gonna go to fueling up, or paying my fuel card for the fuel up that I did for this previous load. And after that, I got another load that I'm taking up to Ohio from Florida. That's paying me $1,500. So out of that, I'm gonna pay the rest of my fuel, whatever that I owe coming out of that. Then the rest of that money is going inside my business checking account. So I'm gonna be at a zero balance come Thursday when I fuel up. So then on Friday, what happens is my fuel bill is due, but it's gonna be the zero that I owe because I already paid it off on Thursday. But that Thursday load that I'm taking over to Friday, all that also goes inside my business checking account too. I don't have a load there yet, so I can't tell you how much that load is going to be. I just can tell you that money that I'm getting from the Thursday load on Friday is going to go all the way into my business checking. And then again, I don't owe no money on no fuel. And my Friday load, wherever that's taking me for the weekend now, I always try to make sure it's enough so it covers the fuel and it cover my $1,800 that I need to get paid. But if it don't cover my $1,800, I got money inside my business checking account to pay myself the $1,800 that I need. So that's how I do this, like a revolving thing. Right now it's doing pretty good because my business is averaging about $1,200 a week in profits. And I get paid my $1,800. So it's doing pretty good for me. My system is working for me that I do in the areas that I run and how I work and things like that. Then I didn't develop relationships with two brokers. Uber Freight is totally different. That's a whole different ballgame. I do speak with a rep every now and then, but it's always a different rep that I speak with every now and then for Uber Freight load. But for T-Bell, the broker that I mess with, her name is Suzanne. We got a good relationship with that. You know, but she know I'm not just gonna take any type of money that I'll pass on it. She know I'll pass. Then I got another one named Graham for C.H. Robinson that I use. So these are the ones I've been using now for three months. So I've been developing a relationship with them where I got their number that I can call them if they in a meeting. I got the email stuff, and I go through them with our loads and everything like that. You know, so I've established those relationships. Now, since I'm finna go with these other brokers, there's 3 of them I'm finna contact, and as soon as I sign on with them, I'm gonna start using them if they got some good loads in the area, which they normally do have good loads in the area, but sometimes their times just don't gel with me. I don't like picking up loads 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night, or a delivery that's at 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, you know, because you can't get enough loads. So they have a lot of loads that be like that, you know, so, but I'm still gonna hook up with them and try to establish a relationship with a rep as well. Because those other 3 brokers I'm going to sign up with, they have loads that go up to where my dedicated freight is that I got for my contract for Florida. So because they have those loads, I can use them to get loads. There's just more people that I can get loads from getting up to my dedicated account that's going to start in October. And again, that's 3 loads at $2,000 a pop, 634 miles. That's all it is. I mean, that's all it is. Now, say for instance, I can't find a load. It just ain't no loads there, and I have to dead end. That's 634 miles. So now that's 12 $1.68 off of 2,000, right? So off of 2,000, that's still $1. What that be? Right there, so $1, like $1.30 something a mile, 30 something cents a mile. You know, they actually still beat my operating costs. Because mine is $1.28 total, all the way up to $1.36, depending on the cost of fuel. It's my operating cost cents per mile. So even if I had deadhead, I'd be right at my operating cost cents per mile. Which I won't. Not to say I won't find a load to go up there. I always find a load to go up there because it's a Niagara up there in South Carolina. And then it's the Walmart up there in South Carolina. It's the paper mill up there that I deliver to out there in South Carolina. And it's a plumbing place where it's a multi-stop that I deliver to up there. But I don't want to do that because it's always 3 multi-stop. And it takes a lot of time, and I can't make it back home in time that night when I do the 3 stops compared to if I had a 1-stop load. So I'm trying not to do that. But if I have to do that, that actually pays pretty good because that pays me about $7.50, and that's like $1.49 a mile on that load right there. So I have options when it hits closer down to September. You know, that last week leading to October, I would just do Florida, North Carolina, back to Florida, North Carolina, back to Florida again. You know, I just do all that because I have a shop up there that I use in South Carolina, and I'll put the trailer up in there and make sure that that trailer is 100%, you know, ready to go. So coming into Georgia, that weigh station right there, sometimes they be tripping, man. Triple sometimes. They used to pull me all the time with Karen, cause she an older truck. You know, she an older truck. She an old lady. They seeing the old lady there. So then they put them in, and I had finally asked them, said, man, can I please get a sticker? Cause y'all keep calling me in every other week. I'm getting the whole DOT inspection. Then they look, and then they was like, yeah, you didn't have 4 level 1 inspections in the last 2 months. I'm like, yeah, can I please get a sticker? And then they finally gave me a sticker. And then you know, I was good when I was coming over there. I mean, cause it's like, I was like, man, like every other week they kept stopping me. I'm like, what is y'all stopping me for? Looking for stuff. Shit was old, but everything was right. I ain't had no leaks. I had new brakes. I had tires. Paperwork was all in order. I was like, what's wrong? But anyway, that's another story. All right, man. Y'all have a good